अभी विकेट गिरेगा बिल्कुल। 4 विकेटें ऑलरेडी गिर चुकी हैं। अब देखते हैं कि पहले सेशन के अंदर ये टीम कितनी विकेटों को बचा पाएगी। जहां पर अब पहले सेशन की अगर बात की जाए तो पहले सेशन का खेल पूरा होने में अब जो टाइम बचा हुआ है वो बचा हुआ है 55 मिनट का टाइम जो है दोस्तों अभी पहले सेशन का खेल होने में बाकी है। 12 रन 4 के नुकसान पे 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है और लगातार जो है वो बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें पहले सेशन का खेल होने में बाकी है। 12 रन 4 के नुकसान पे नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है और लगातार जो है वो बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है बाकी है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है 8 रन देते हुए 1 विकेट को खेला जा सकता है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है 8 रन देते हुए 1 विकेट को खेला जा सकता है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है 8 रन देते हुए 1 विकेट को खेला जा सकता है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है 8 रन देते हुए 1 विकेट को खेला जा सकता है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाहर की लाइन के साथ बॉलिंग करवाई जा रही है। टीम न्यूजीलैंड लगातार जो है बैटर गेंद को खेलने में हमें काम ओवर द विकेट ये गेंद जो कि टप्पा लेने का खेल है 8 रन देते हुए 1 विकेट को खेला जा सकता है। 12 रन 4 खेलते हुए बैकवर्ड्स को सामने के में नाकाम दिखाई दिया। 4 गेंदें होते हुए पूरी लगातार ऑस्ट्रेलिया के बाह 13वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए दोस्तों यहाँ पर caught behind की राइट आर्म ओवर द विकेट डुलन की गेंद थी, फ्लिक करना चाहते थे बल्लेबाज। 13वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए दोस्तों यहाँ पर caught behind की राइट आर्म ओवर द विकेट डुलन की गेंद थी, फ्लिक करना चाहते थे बल्लेबाज। 13वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए दोस्तों यहाँ पर caught behind की नजर आ रहा है, राइट आर्म ओवर द विकेट डुलन की गेंद थी, फ्लिक करना चाहते थे बल्लेबाज। 13वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए दोस्तों यहाँ पर caught behind की नजर आ रहा है, राइट आर्म ओवर द विकेट डुलन की गेंद थी, फ्लिक करना चाहते थे बल्लेबाज। 13वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए दोस्तों यहाँ पर करना चाहते थे बल्लेबाज। 13वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए दोस्तों यहाँ पर पर आकर बैट को साथ मिलाते हुए खेल दिया वापस बॉल के पास। 21 टीम न्यूजीलैंड फॉर द लॉस ऑफ 4 विकेट्स। 16वें ओवर का खेल अभी चलते हुए। एंडरसन की अगर बात की जाए 6 ओवर्स के अंदर 5 रन देकर 2 विकेट को किया उन्होंने अपने नाम। वॉर्ड ने 6 ओवर्स के अंदर 14 रन देते हुए 1 विकेट को चटका रखा है, जबकि मैथ्यू पॉट्स ने चौथे ओवर के अंदर 2 मेडन करते हुए 2 रन देकर 1 विकेट को किया हुआ अब तक अपने नाम। मैथ्यू पॉट्स जो कि अपना डेब्यू मुकाबला खेल रहे हैं, वो अब पहले ही ओवर के अंदर विकेट को अपने नाम कर पाए थे। जबरदस्त किस्म की क्रिकेट उनकी तरफ से। राइट आर्म ओवर द विकेट, ये गेंद ऑस्ट्रम के काफी ज्यादा बाहर, ये गेंद स्किन को बैटर ने लीव करते हुए जाने दिया विकेट कीपर के पास। 21 रन से न्यूजीलैंड 4 के नुकसान पे। 16 ओवर्स का खेल अभी होते हुए पूरा। ये सेशन पूरा होने में अब 34 मिनट का टाइम बाकी है। 34 मिनट्स इन दिस सेशन। न्यूजीलैंड की टीम में एक अच्छा कमबैक करने की कोशिश में है। हाँ, मैं भी अपना ही पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू जो है पेश कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है भाई, आपकी बात ठीक है, बट कोई लीग ही ना हुई। लीग क्रिकेट तो है ना, इसमें तो कोई शक नहीं। PSL भी लीग क्रिकेट है, IPL भी लीग क्रिकेट है।
The all new Tundra, Toyota, let's go places. And senior bowler, or one of the senior bowlers, having a long conversation and discussion. Previous over, there was a man back on the hook. He's come in to save the single at square leg. Still the 4 slips and a gully. Sorry, forgive me. The 4 slips and a short leg. And it's just moving behind square on the leg side. And much chat in places about the workload that's on Ben Stokes, because he's the all-rounder, but also some of the extra things that captains are required to do. The stuff that you do as a white ball captain, you've got plenty of experience now, but are you being pulled a lot from pillar to post to do well-meaning things, but a lot on the captain's plate?
Initially, yes, it is overwhelming, and I suppose you learn lessons the hard way. The experiences you go through, spending energy on different things, unnecessary things at different stages. And I think every captain has to go through that initial period. If you come in knowing exactly what you should or shouldn't do, you don't take a lot of risk, you don't come out of your comfort zone. So Ben, being the character that he is, I know that he's going to throw absolutely all of himself into batting, bowling, fielding, and every decision that needs to be made on and off the field. I think that's where Brendan McCullum, the new coach, comes in. In different countries, they potentially do ask for too much, but you have to think that every player will go through that at some stage. It's not just on the captain's plate the whole time. So going through that yourself and experiencing it and sitting back and then saying, right, well, we need to cut this out. We need to find a way of making this better because we need to save energy for actually big moments in the game when we need Stuart Broad more and mentally fit and full of energy and thriving.
22 for 4. We have some news on Jack Leach, who you may or may not have seen, but he took a horrible tumble down on the boundary with some hugely committed fielding. But he's whacked his head. He is showing signs of concussion. So as per the concussion protocols, Jack Leach has been withdrawn from this test match. No word of a replacement yet, but Jack Leach, well, his rotten luck continues, doesn't it? My goodness me. Jack Leach has been withdrawn from the test match because of concussion. Now, no word on that replacement for Jack Leach, but it has to be like for like. So Craig Overton, as an example, couldn't replace Jack Leach. So it might be a call for... Can you call a leg spinner? Matt Parkinson? Is that like for like? It's a spinner. Well, look away now if you're a bit squeamish, but that's where Jack Leach did himself a mischief. Fully committed fielding for the team. And he whacked his head. It took a moment just to gather himself, and the medical team very quickly to him. He did walk unaided back to the dressing room, but is showing signs of concussion.
Nasty stuff, that, Wardy. We obviously wish Jack Leach a speedy recovery. And like you say, his bad luck continues. We hope that changes as well.
We've had a concussion sub here at Lords before. Jofra Archer clunked Steve Smith, and of course that allowed Marnus Labuschagne to show us all what he was made of. He got whacked first ball, got up, dusted himself down and got on with it. Leg spin like for like. Parkinson. Oh, we go for his brother, Callan. He's a left arm spinner. One of the Parkinsons, maybe. Call for Moeen Ali. How about that? Moeen Ali's been talked about as a return to the test match team.
Yeah, I'd imagine that when Brendan, Ben and the selectors along with Rob Key sat down and selected the squad for this test match, they would have had replacements in every different department. So whoever that person might be, I'd imagine they're in the car.
Nicely controlled. Beautifully timed too, up the slope. Been a while since the boundary has been struck, but that was a pleasant shot from Mitchell.
Really good shot from Mitchell. Potts' first short ball of the test match, and he cashes in.
Slamming the ball into the pitch here at Lords. He's got a bit of extra bounce. We've seen that in some of the county streams. And it has cannoned off something, his bat or his elbow, onto the stumps. Potts has his second. England have 5.
What a debut start from Matthew Potts. 2 for 6 in his first spell. Little bit of luck along the way for a chop on, but he'd take every bit of it.
What a morning England have had. New Zealand winning the toss, deciding to bat. Mitchell gone for 13 and they're 27 for 5.
centre. That's it. It's one left. Well, the band is back together. Broad and Anderson started superbly this morning. And they've got a new member as well, because Potts has chipped in beautifully. On debut at Lord's, just his second match here with the red ball in hand. And the man who only knows one way really, Con de Grandhomme, is out in the middle because of this. Playing on, Potts with his second. What a day to remember, Simon Doyle.
Yeah, I heard Owen Morgan talking about the extra bounce, and that's what did for Daryl Mitchell on that occasion. High up on the bat, quite get right in behind it, slight angle of it back down onto the stumps. A little bit of pace and a little bit of bounce, you get a rousing round of applause as well for Potts as he heads down in front of some English fans, which there are plenty of. Enjoying a very good 18 overs so far today.
I would have dreamt about this last night. Getting his cap, walking out, down through the pavilion, out onto the ground. Nailed his first ball, but a wicket with his fifth. So much talk about this England setup, both the group off the pitch. There's been quite some changes. It's been spoken about quite a bit. They announced their 24 hours before today. The 81st captain of England. He's already got one test under his belt as captain, but he's got the armband on full time now. And it's an inside edge, and that is going to streak away for a boundary.
It's the length that has caused problems for most of the New Zealand batters this morning. And get it full. It's another false stroke. Don't mind the option from Blundell. He's got away with it. New Zealand cannot afford to just sit there and defend, because they will nick and will have the odd one nipped back. So I think you'll see a little bit more of a counter-attack, probably more so from de Grandhomme. But Blundell has that ability as well. Not sure it's worth a high five, but we'll take it.
That's nice. Steady at the crease, didn't try and overhit it. The nicer of the two boundaries.
Broad looking to just angle it back in, going full, looking for the pads. This is a much better stroke, the best of the day from Tom Blundell.
Still on the attack, 4 slips in play, short leg just backward of square as well. A little bit of hesitancy. It typically happens too when you're 5 down on the first morning of the test match.
Yeah, it was just a stutter step from de Grandhomme there. And Pope was quick enough to it. The way that Con de Grandhomme ambled through the last little bit, you felt that he thought he was safe. Was he?
No. That's the only thing that they've done not to perfection today, England. Leading on length and heart and mouth for any Kiwi watching.
First impressions, it's gone straight over top of off stump. Running it down the slope, maybe just outside, or give Colin de Grandon the benefit of the doubt. Instantly you're seeing de Grandon with a little more presence at the crease, slightly forward, looking to get onto that front foot.
End of the 19th, 36 for 5.
My son. He's such a gentleman. Always puts thoughtful. He's so soft-spoken. Oh, yeah. Everyone says he's so good-looking. And he never forgets to fall.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The all-new Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
Not a typo for any New Zealand supporters out there. It is 36 for 5. First session of play, the first test of this English summer. Started with Anderson, continued with Broad, and now it's Potts. Simon Doyle, it's the first time you've seen Matthew Potts, you've seen Broad and Anderson over all these years, 323 test matches between them. So much talk about those two now coming back together, but what have you seen of Matthew Potts?
A little bit on the stream, the live streams that go around the county ground, so I've watched a little bit leading into today. Impressed with, it's the away movement. It's not so much swing, he's not really a swing bowler, but that seam movement seems quite consistent.
There's that seam movement back into the right-hander and given. Potts can do no wrong at the moment, but he's going to have to wait.
Thank you. Review for LBW. TV umpire to director, we have a review for LBW. Original decision's out, and I've checked the front foot. It's a fair delivery. Front on first place. Yeah, could I check with Ultra Edge, please? Just continuing through. Yeah. Back again. Thank you. Have an inside edge. Michael, I'll get you to change your decision to not out. Signal now, please.
Michael Goff has to overturn his decision. Matthew Potts stays with 2 for 6.
Don't get me wrong, Michael Goff is one of the best in the game. Certainly a good amount of seam movement back in. He's been impressive. It's not express pace by any stretch in that early to mid 80s. The line, the length, and the first time, I'm interested to note the first time he's played any long format game at Lords. So getting used to the conditions, getting used to the slope is never easy. Really impressed with him. Quite a strong front on action. It's an athletic, but quite a chest on. Very open. A bit of a bend in that front leg, which I might like to improve upon slowly, but a lot of good attributes. He looks very strong, fit, which is unlike a lot of the current English bowlers.
It's probably one of the toughest things to balance as a young quick coming through, isn't it, when you see someone who's so much enthusiasm to get to the crease, hit the deck hard. There'll be a balance between trying to coach technique, trying to coach the tactical side of the game. What kind of skill set has he got? Get the one the net back in. Can he get it to hold its line, move away, take the pace off? And I like that too. Not afraid to pitch it up. 20 overs gone, 36 for 5.
Doesn't make for good reading at all from a New Zealand point of view. 19 for 6 they were in the last of the preparation matches just 5 days ago. In all sorts of trouble. It hasn't been a good week, that top order in particular.
The World Test Champions are in strife, big strife. Undergone home. The magnificent 100 against South Africa recently at the back end of the New Zealand summer. He's out in the middle, yet to get off the mark. I've mentioned that Anderson and Broad have played a combined 223 test matches together. But I get the sense that prior to this test match there would have been a little bit of enjoyment about them coming back together at Lord's for the first test match of the summer.
And rightly so, nothing to prove, but proof. If we've still got it, we can still do it. Would have been a conversation that they were having. I think Stuart Broad's probably got a little more time in his legs than Jimmy does at 35 and 39. And as far as I can see it, it's just Stuart Broad. Jimmy Anderson, I don't know how much after this summer. But by experience, it's not something they sell in the shops.
It brings in world bowling. You think of McGrath and Warne, Murali, Vass, Walsh, Ambrose, Ozzy Makram, and Makar Yunus. It's fantastic movement, isn't it? Keeping everyone on the edge of their seats.
It's an incredible combination. One comes back in, slightly different seam angle, is very difficult to pick up from Anderson's point of view or from the batter's point of view. Any real change in the action, the seam position changes slightly in the fingers. It gets a little more outside to in rather than inside to out, but not much.
Good movement once again to finish off the 21st. It's 36 for 5. A fight on their hand here, New Zealand. They won the toss earlier today. They elected to have a bat. They're already 5 down.
And you mentioned the World Test Champions, Mel, and since that time New Zealand have toured India, lost 1-0 in 2 Test matches in India. Drew 1-1 with Bangladesh in New Zealand and drew 1-1 with South Africa in New Zealand. So lost 3 of those 6 Test matches. Haven't played as well as they played leading into that World Test Championship final. I think there's just been a few little things missing. different games. Bangladesh were brilliant in that test match at Mount Maunganui that they won. Nothing away from them. New Zealand failed to play a spinner in that game, which they've... Quite incredible, isn't it? Jazz Patel gets 10 wickets in an innings. 10 in an innings and does not play the next test match. And New Zealand probably found that a little bit tough, I think, to take.
And then there was the second test match against South Africa, where there was a lot of eyebrows raised when Dean Elgar won the toss and elected to bat on a pitch that we probably pretty used to at Hagley Park. It had a lot of green on it, was probably going to do a lot. And it was a brilliant test win by South Africa. And if you have just joined us, earlier today there was a fortunate incident on the boundary line where Jack Leach was attempting to drag back a ball. He sustained some concussion. He's been off the field since that moment, and just confirming now that he is going to be replaced in this test match with the concussion ruling. Matt Parkinson will be joining the England side later today. This is a dream start to his test career.
Oh, this is fantastic. Energy, pace. He's been moving the ball away. He's been nipping it back in up the hill. Absolutely superb from Potts. Another one that's just slightly scrambled. It's a poor lead from Blundell, but a brilliant piece of bowling. England all over New Zealand here at Lord's this morning, and it just compounds New Zealand's problems as Blundell goes. He's on his way back for 14, 36 for 6.
He started his cricket career as a batter. He's turned into a very handy seam bowler for New Zealand. He's going to need all that batting skill today. Confused with Blundell. Am I pushing forward? Am I playing at it? Am I leaving it in between, trying to get through all that? Potts has got through the defences.
He's shaped to play, but in the end didn't. Kyle Jamieson. Certainly useful with the bat. These tough times, tough conditions. And a fielding side and a bowling unit that are absolutely on top at the moment.
More fielders into the slips cordon as well. Both with the gloves. 5 slips a gully for Potts. And why wouldn't you be putting your hand up nearly every delivery? There's a wicket maiden, 36 for 6.
He certainly shaped to play at it, and then all of a sudden it was a half leave from Blundell. A real mistake, but how happy the chainsaw. I'm sure from the captain's point of view, from Ben Stokes' point of view, he'll be over the moon with what Potts is showing. He's seen it at the domestic level, obviously, captaining, part of the Durham outfit. I'm going to be really pleased with Potts.
You think usually it would take some time to get used to bowling at Lords at the red ball. Working out the angle of the slope, what line he starts with, but right from ball one today, he's been absolutely bang on. And the cheer he gets every time he goes down to fine leg. Hard at it. Here's Jamison.
It's the one that comes back in again from Anderson. And down the hill, bit of swing. Both quite aggressive players by nature. De Gronham's had 10 deliveries for his one. I wonder whether calculated risks might be the way to go. At the moment, 37 for 6 would suggest that very difficult out there. But if the ball is in your area, tossed up enough, I think these two players need to be relatively aggressive if it's there.
This was the Blundell wicket. Just the reaction from everyone within the slips cordon. Ben Stokes, the captain, right of screen. Captain see things easy.
It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, football thing, isn't it? You change your manager, all of a sudden the team find a new lease of life for a week or two. New coach, new captain. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dooley. I think there is a sense between these two that the way in which they can dig themselves out of this hole is to be reasonably aggressive on the front foot, literally and figuratively as well. Earlier this year, we're sitting in a commentary box renamed for one of the greats of the game, in Shane Warne. A bit of sadness, but also some wonderful stories being told. 37 for 6. It's the 23rd over, and that number was Shane Warne's.
On the 4th of March, the game lost a cricket legend and the greatest leg spinner of all time. His legacy transcends cricket and even sports, on and off the field, in the commentary boxes and as a coach. He will be remembered for his cricketing genius, as a cultural icon, and was simply one of a kind. His shirt number was 23, so for those able, please be upstanding for 23 seconds of applause for one of the greats of the game, Shane. Thank you very much.
Well, he's a showman, an entertainer, he is a master of his craft. Tactical genius on so many occasions. And gone far too soon. That applause he would have heard every ground around the world on numerous occasions. And a wonderful acknowledgement for Shane Keith Warne.
And he loved this place too, didn't he? Second home. He called it so often. Loved his time here at Sky. His summers in England truly missed.
I think when you look at the crowd as well, everyone would have known him for different reasons, you know. From our age onwards, it's for his playing days. For so many of the youngsters, it's sort of T20, it's IPL, it's commentary.
His beloved Rajasthan Royals couldn't quite get the job done in recent IPL. Some wonderful tributes coming up too over the weekend on Sky for those able to watch. Make sure you tune in.
This could be close as well. It's Michael Goff. He missed the earlier inside edge. Might have thought that there was just a little tickle.
The discussions about was there an edge?